speakers on the screen, Dr. Ms. Jyoti Arora, Special Secretary and Financial Advisor, Mighty Government of India, Dr. Omkar Rai, Director General, STPI, Shri Vishrendra Kumarji, Special Secretary, IT and Electronics Department, Dr. R.K. Dhiman, Director, SGPGI, Lucknow, Dr. Jitendra Sharma, CEO, MTZ, and MD and CEO, MTZ, Shri Rajiv Nathji, Managing Director of Hindustan Syringes, as well as Founder and Forum Coordinator of IMED. I think today we have again gathered on this STPI Pulse platform to witness the soft launch of another Center of Excellence, which Rajneeshji gave an overview already. Given the situation of what we are right now in terms of COVID-19, in terms of pandemic, and we all understand and we all feel that need of medtech industry being the center stage today, and the fact that a lot of progress has been done in the last couple of months, and there is enough progress needs to be done, which Rajneeshji talked about in terms of indigenization of various medical electronics devices. With that, thank you, Rajneeshji, for welcome address. Now I would like to invite Shri Rajiv Nathji, Managing Director of Hindustan Syringes and Medical Devices Limited, the founder and the forum coordinator for Association of Indian Medical Devices, an umbrella association of Indian manufacturers of all types of medical devices. And he's also trustee of SafePoint India CSR initiative of HMD. He's also the president of All India Syringes and Needles Manufacturer Association. As the forum coordinator of IMED, he has taken many initiatives to establish a collaborative framework with various departments of the government, and also making input through media to drive the attention towards the issues troubling the industry and attract investments in India in his quest to make India as the preferred manufacturing destination and leading supplier of medical devices worldwide. Shri Rajiv ji, thank you for coming on this platform with us, and thank you for extending all support through IMED in past for coming up with Center of Excellence. With that note, I request your address on this platform. Over to you, Rajiv ji.
Thank you, Shri Sachin, for this very warm welcome. Hello, everyone. To save time, I will not take all the names again, because Shri Sachin ji has kindly introduced all the honorable stalwarts over here who've been present. I don't think it's actually a soft launch for a software park. I think it's a very good launch. Very impressive faces I see over here who've taken time off to support the medical devices industry and the medical electronic industry. I will just walk you through a presentation. Please bear with me while I learn to toggle with this and find my own screen over here.
We were able to see your screen, Rajiv ji, earlier, but I think it's again unshared.
Yeah, I cannot see my back screen. The problem is that. Yeah, okay, I can now.
Yeah, we can see.
One is always learning. Yes, so all of you stalwarts over here are from the electronic industry and from the software IT industry, and you've created really well in India. And even the pharma has done very well, and I think now it's our turn for medical devices to come forward and release our great potential over here. So medical devices has consumables, electronics, implants, instruments, IVD reagents, such like products. This will give you a broad overview, so you can see that we have been growing very rapidly in terms of both exports and in terms of imports. So unfortunately, India is 80 to 90% import dependent, and in medical electronics it's about 90% import dependent. So you can see this big green bottom over there showing about 53% of the total imports being medical electronics and equipments, and the figure has gone up from 12,000 crore rupees in 2014 to 20,000 crore rupees in 2019, and last year it has gone up to the total has gone up to 25,000 crore rupees for medical electronics. Compared to this, exports are not bad. Overall, we are doing about $1.4 billion worth of exports in medical devices until the year before last, and last year went up to 2.1, a very good jump. Out of which the electronics part was 7,000 crore rupees, so more than $1 billion. And these are the imports which are mainly coming from these 5 countries, say Germany, China, Singapore, and Holland. And you can see again the big green swab, maximum imports which are coming in medical electronics, and this is the problem and also the opportunity. So what we've achieved in the last few years, after having good interaction with the government and support of the various central government departments, has been the Kalam Institute of Healthcare Technology was established. This was to commercialize R&D efforts at IISCs and various other engineering and scientific institutes. Quality Council of India launched the ICMED voluntary QA certification scheme to give credibility to Indian manufacturers. The government came out with medical device rules so that we are not regulated the way we were being done as medicines and pharmaceuticals. The law still remains the same, so next part is to get the separate law. And for price controls and affordability and to bring ethical marketing into the picture, we supported the government when the government thought of bringing in price caps for stents and knee implants, and we encouraged them to also do it for other products. Thereafter, with discussions with Mr. Naidu and with Telangana government, the Medtech parks were established at Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad, and now more than 8 states are in active discussions with the IMED and also with the central government to establish more Medtech parks. So the software park in UP in Lucknow is very, very welcome, and we are in advanced stage of discussions with the UP government to establish a medical electronics park at Jewar next to the Noida airport coming up, possibly in Sector 28 over there. So that is at an advanced stage of discussions over there, and let's hope that it comes forward and brings a new center for excellence along with the software park in UP over there. So what was also required was the skill issues, and QCI, AMTZ and IMED established the Indian Biomedical Skill Development Consortium to initially competency mapping, and also now it has been recognized by the National Skill Development Council for even development of the skills itself. Thereafter, to address the issue of consumer protection and ethical marketing, we got the legal metrology rules amended, and we've been educating various people on quality, on certification and regulatory requirements. So we do find that India is very, very competitive and has strategic advantage in the automotive industry, in motorcycles, in bicycles, in mobile phones. In IMED, we've got more than 350 members and more than 200 associate members. And we've taken the input from them as to what will make the medical electronics area to be having an advantage or a competitive advantage. So key issue is business viability. Why 90% import dependency has been because of 0 to 7.5% custom duty only. So like in mobile phones, like we've got the custom duty to be at 15 but 20% consumer goods. If that comes forward, then definitely more manufacturing can take place in India. And the way if more manufacturing takes place in India for medical electronics, we'll also have more software available in India for that. So that brings in the next part is product development. India has shown its ability and capability in the last 4 months of rapid product development. During COVID times, you've seen that in 4 months' time, the amount of capacity created for making ventilators alone in medical electronics. So last year we made 3,300 ventilators in the whole year, and currently our capacity this particular month is to make 40,000 ventilators in 1 month. So that comes to more than 500,000 ventilators going forward, and 400,000 as an average. Quality credibility is again very important. So Indian engineering internationally has got higher quality credibility, and they're willing to pay a higher price for Indian products than Chinese products. So we need to encash on that and build our brand India on that. And ICMED certification by QCI is a step in that direction. and shortly ICMET Plus certification, which is product certification on the lines of CE marking, will also be introduced. Then internationally, India is very well known for precision engineering, and we need to build our capabilities on that. Like already mentioned, IT is a strong part for India. Software development has always been strong. So this is a niche area where going forward, like you've got a mobile phone, so many companies making apps from children to organizations focused purely on making careers on software development. This is something that we can see for medical electronics also. So we find that this 25,000 crore rupee import basically at the institutional retail level is a 50,000 crore rupee market. And in terms of software development, if you take both the export market and the domestic market, it's more than 10,000 crore rupee software opportunity over here, we think. These are the major players in India who already are very strong and spending a lot of time, effort, and growth focus on software in medical electronics. HCL, Cyient, and GE Wipro, these three companies alone are doing nearly about 1,000 crore rupees plus of design and software exports from India. We also have other companies like Siemens, Prognosys, Keyence, Omron, etc., who are also in this space for providing hardware and software support for the control systems. So, medical electronics in terms of applications, when we talk about software and digital, what are we talking about? So, historically, of course, every electronic instrument does need the standard control panels and does need some minimal software as an interface with the individual who is going to be using that panel to operate that equipment, whether it's an infusion pump or a CT scan machine or an MRI machine or an X-ray machine. But going forward, we already are seeing that there's a rapid change happening in terms of electronic digital technology. So now the machines are talking to each other. They are interoperable systems which interface with each other, and you can create practically a digital laboratory. And COVID is something which has shown how to use it going forward with minimal human interface to make it safer for all of us. So radiology can be digital and communicate on that platform. Same thing for cancer screening, whereas pathological labs, you have analyzers for checking your eyes, ophthalmological instruments, electronic instruments for ear screening. And all these can use artificial intelligence for diagnostics. Like for COVID, software has been made so when somebody goes in, admitted to a hospital, they want to check on his pneumonia and the possible dangers from that. So they already are using artificial intelligence for that. And this has led them to come out with the data which can be then used by doctors who may not be in the COVID facility. They may be outside the hospital who can do teleconsultation. And they can do remote monitoring of the patients with the help of nursing staff and resident doctors. And this is already happening in real time. So we are doing that with foreign equipments. We need to do that now with Indian equipments, with Indian software and Indian technology. So the telemed integrated platform will be working on whether on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or a 4G network through your mobile phone, using cloud computing, and this will also at the same time facilitate that whatever is being analyzed will automatically create a health patient record. And this record can always be centralized into a data system. And the hospital can then provide the customer service of emailing those reports automatically to the patients, and then they can provide also a follow-on after-sales service to the patients. So this is very exciting times, and this is a whole lot of imagination has to only go wild when we say that how this Lucknow facility will be used. I was really happy when I came to know that this will be housed in SGPGI Lucknow, because having a direct interface with the medical profession over there, seeing what their needs are, adapting to those needs, using the software that is going to be created and the instruments that are going to be created, using that for clinical evaluation and clinical investigation, and not only for regulatory purposes, but also for benchmarking against what other people are doing internationally. This is what is going to help us create India to be among the top 4 manufacturing hubs for medical devices worldwide. So with UP having now in the future both the software and the hardware park, and also the quality control centers coming up, hopefully also in UP. Plus, you also have NIB, which is the doing the biologicals and the IVD part in also in Noida. You have definitely a big advantage to create a nice cluster in UP with your scientific talents over there and the various IITs over there, and proximity to Delhi NCR. So we look forward to buying your software in India. IMED's members are looking with great interest at the success of this initiative taken by MIT and by STPI, and we are with you, and we'll be wanting to encourage the manufacturers in India to buy from you and make in India their instruments and succeed in India. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sri Rajiv ji, and I think thanks again, once again, for all the assurances in the form of the need for not just the need, but also saying that IMED as an industry would look forward to adopting solutions from the startups which will come out from this center of excellence. And I think you rightly said, that there has been a good journey of Indian medical devices so far, and this journey has to be taken forward with special focus of coming out of Lucknow and a special focus from the Hindi heartland. That's something which I'm sure the Center of Excellence will do. And you, in fact, also talked about various problem statements. These are the problem statements which have also been listed out in the Open Challenge program, where we are inviting applications when we launch today. With that note, let me now invite Dr. Jitendra Sharma. Dr. Jitendra Sharma is a co-chief mentor of Medtech Center of Excellence and founder, managing director, and CEO of Andhra Pradesh Medtech Zone, Visakhapatnam, which is Asia's first medical devices manufacturing city. Known in Policy Forum as Medtech Man of India, Dr. Jitendra Sharma is also advisor to health and medical technologies for the health and medical technologies government of Andhra Pradesh, and executive director of Kalam Institute of Health Technology, a technology policy research body set up with the support of Government of India. He also has set up a National Medical Devices Promotion Council and under Ministry of Commerce. He is adjunct faculty at University of Adelaide, Australia, and program director for health technology assessment in India. He has been founder of 6 organizations, and right from the beginning, right from the very initial stages of coming up with Medtech Center of Excellences, this Medtech Center of Excellence, his guidance, his input has always been useful to us, and I'm sure we look forward to the similar guidance as we move forward. With that note, it's over to you, Dr. Jitendra Sharma, for your key address.
Thank you, Mr. Shubodh, and namaskar to everyone. Am I audible, Mr. Shubodh?
Yes, you are audible.
So, namaskar to everyone. I think a great day and a great beginning for everyone. But I think I must gratefully acknowledge that although STPI and AMTZ signed MOU in 2018, it is the vision and progressive nature of additional Special Secretary Mrs. Jyoti Arora ji and Mr. Omkar Rai, which has actually allowed us to see this day. Otherwise, these discussions would have continued without a progressive outcome. So, I think the credit of putting us together on a very charted territory, on a very planned territory, goes to the Special Secretary Jyoti Arora Madam ji and Mr. Omkar Rai ji, our good friend. Now, that having said, this is an enormous opportunity, because whatever you are creating, whatever we are creating today, can not only serve the immediate needs, but can also catapult the entire medical device sector in India globally. And I'm telling you with this, with the experience that when I was privileged to come in 2017 to take up a jungle of about 8 kilometers, I actually never thought that in 5 years we would end up setting 9 national organizations, creating a Medtech zone, and creating multiple center of excellences across the country in partnership with so many prestigious and very sincere organizations like STPI. Now, because we focused on science and not just research, and I want you to differentiate between between doing science and doing business of science. These are two different things. Doing science can happen in an IIT, a beautiful paper and a beautiful thesis can actually come out. Doing business of science can actually mean a great product and no market. It can also mean a very relevant product and an innovation in the market that can change a Medtech growth story. So doing business of science is very complex. And I think this incubator has a great role to play in allowing people to do business of science, doing very ethical and scientific business of science. Because they have the setup in SGPGI, which is a clinical setting. They have the backing of STPI, which is a very, very well-known, structured organization. And if entrepreneurs can actually come and take advantage of these two systems with the overall umbrella support of organizations like IMED, AMTZ, METI, I think there cannot be a better recipe for an entrepreneur. Now, because AMTZ was created as a medical device manufacturing zone, I still remember when I first proposed this zone, people even asked, what is an electromagnetic interference center? What is a gamma irradiation facility? What is a laser 3D printing setup? And when we created this setup, today, because of the nature of requirement in the society, we are actually producing about 15,000 ventilators, 50 lakh RT-PCR diagnostic kits, almost 50,000 N95 masks a day, almost 500 IR thermometers a day. Now, besides producing world's second robotic cardiac surgery system and world's third helium-free magnet for superconducting magnet for an MRI. Now, all this has been possible because multiple forces joined hands at AMTZ through the various departments of Government of India, including Ministry of Electronics. Now, all I'm saying is when this Center of Excellence in Lucknow starts, it needs multiple stakeholders and supporters that you already have. It needs an ideal setting that you already have. It needs an ideal proximity of various institutions that Mr. Rajiv Nath mentioned, like the IIT or NIB Noida, National Institute of Biologicals. Taking advantage of this spectrum would need a very strategic and day-to-day hand-holding of the entrepreneurs and not just quarterly review of the entrepreneurs. If we could collectively handhold these entrepreneurs on a day-to-day basis, not leaving their problem to them, but sitting as part of their team and helping them solve their problems, I think they would bring spectacular success in a very short time. From my side, from the side of AMTZ, from the side of Kalam Institute of Health Technology, from the side of Indian Biomedical Skill Council for skill certification, from the side of National Skill Development Agency, from the side of two incubators that we have, the MediValley and BioValley, from all these 6 organizations and multiple structures that we have, I am ensuring at least 4 things that would be available to all the incubatees and entrepreneurs who would come in the Center of Excellence at Lucknow. One would be all the facilities of testing, validation, and prototyping that we have at AMTZ. Right from a laser testing to an EMI/EMC testing to a gamma irradiation to 3D printing, we have everything. We are at your service to provide you with all the testing, validation, and prototyping services. Whenever we receive a request from Mr. Subodh or the CEO that you would appoint at the Center of Excellence, we would ensure that it is given a priority, and at negligible or no cost, we are able to provide you with the services that your incubatees would need. Number 2 is that just 3 days ago, AMTZ and the government of UK, the British High Commission, we have launched a call for innovations for COVID-related products. The innovators and entrepreneurs can be anywhere. They would be given up to 5 lakh rupees for first prototype development. And I think this is a call which, while it is alive, any incubatee entrepreneur which is hoping to be with Center of Excellence at Lucknow can immediately apply. That would give you an initial working capital. The incubator is an initial working capital to rapidly move. The challenge with medical technology is that The medical technology is evolving very fast. So unless we move fast, we become obsolete. And therefore, when an incubator comes, they should not come like a PhD degree plan of 4 years or 5 years. They should come with a plan of what they would achieve in 6 months and 1 year and 1.5 years. Well, that is what is the game-changing situation in medical technology. So this 5 lakh rupees grant per incubator from the British High Commission and AMTZ with all the facilities available to your incubators. The third is we are anyway an MOU partner. The Center of Excellence of Lucknow can be provided with a virtual office at AMTZ. We are happy to provide that right away. And a help desk. We have already appointed a coordinator for the Center of Excellence in Lucknow at our incubation center. So anybody who comes from that belt, North India, or any incubator that needs a clinical setup like SGPGI, our help desk will guide them seamlessly to the Center of Excellence in Lucknow. And over a period of time, when our help desk keeps supporting the incubators to reach out to your Center of Excellence, or license and provides the facilities that your incubators need at your Center of Excellence by providing the right testing, validation, prototyping here until you set up your center. This virtual office and help desk that we would be happy to provide you would actually end up creating a Vizag-Lucknow innovation corridor, so that multiple institutes in this corridor between Lucknow and Vizag, multiple institutions in this corridor, multiple incubators in both the center, in your Center of Excellence and the multiple centers that we have here, and multiple entrepreneurs and industries, small industries that are in this corridor can actually be seamlessly supported by support from both ends. So we are there with you and with every single incubator that would come to Center of Excellence in Lucknow. Please count on us, on our facilities, on our absolute commitment to ensure that all those people who become family members of Center of Excellence in Lucknow will be part of our family from here, and we would be providing them with all the support, both financial and infrastructural. Over to you. Thank you very much, and special thanks once again to Mr. Omkar Rai and to Madam Jyoti Arora ji for having allowed us, all of us, to work together to reach this destination today. Thank you very much, and namaskar.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Jitendra Sharma. Thanks for not just sharing your thoughts on what work has been done at MTZ, but also assurance, giving the assurance in the form of the 4 supports, which is testing, validation, prototyping, support for startups. You also extending call for innovation program for all the startups which will join this program. And also, I think the concept of this virtual office and ensuring that we set up a Lucknow Vizag corridor for innovation, that's something brilliant. Every interaction with you, and we learn, and I think that's something which will take us forward, the Center of Excellence, as we move forward. So thanks for once again for coming on this platform and delivering your address. Let me now invite Dr. R.K. Thiman, Director Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences, SGPGI, Lucknow. But before inviting him, let me invite attention of all respected dignitaries on this platform and distinguished audience for handing over of the space, the semi-furnished built-up space at the 3rd floor of new library building of SGPGI. So I at SGPGI to the STPI representative, Shri Praveen Kumar, who is already present in his office, I believe. So, sir, I think thanks for, if you can hear me, and if there's, yes. So, thank you. We are very thankful to SGPGI and Government of Uttar Pradesh in facilitating the and this is a place where this is the place where the 100-meter incubation facility, along with the 2 labs, which is MediElectronics lab and IoT lab, focusing on healthcare, will come up for this Medtech Center of Excellence. So thanks, sir, and thanks to my colleague Shri Praveen ji over there. So before I invite let me give a brief introduction of Dr. Thiman. Dr. Thiman is in the beginning of this year joined as Director of SGPGI Lucknow. Prior to joining SGPGI, Dr. Thiman has been working at the Department of PGIMR in Chandigarh. since 1983. Since 1993. Dr. Thiman had completed his graduation and post-graduation in medicine from King George Medical College, Lucknow in 1983 and 87 respectively. He obtained his doctorate in gastroenterology from SGPGI in 91. He is internationally recognized hepatologist. He is instrumental in starting the hepatitis C control program, Mukhyamantri Punjab Hepatitis C Relief Fund, and injection safety project successfully in Punjab. Currently working towards the elimination of viral hepatitis from India, the Union government has also launched the National Viral Hepatitis Control Program on 28 July 2018 with the provision of free diagnosis and treatment for viral hepatitis through the National Health Mission. And he's the chairperson of NVHCP's Technical Resource Group. So thanks, sir, for taking time out from your very, very busy schedule and raising this occasion with a soft one. Sir, over to you for your address.
Thank you, sir. And the dignitaries who are present there, and I would say that this is an auspicious day in the history of the Sanjay Gandhi PGI, and it is one of the milestones that the Sanjay Gandhi PGI is going to have also. So on the occasion of the soft launch of the Medtech Center of Excellence, I would like to congratulate everyone. And you all know that SGPGI, STPI and the MIT, they have signed the Memorandum of the Understanding for setting up of the Center of the Excellence at the SGPGI. And under this, we are supposed to give the space for setting up the Center of the Excellence. And today that previously we have done the Memorandum of the Understanding, and today that we handed over the space to the STPI. Thank you so much. The STPI Meditech Center of the Excellence, it will stimulate the establishment of the growth of the technology-based startups in the medical electronics and the health informatics by providing the state-of-the-art infrastructure. And in addition, the center will offer monitoring, marketing, and the funding, thus creating an ecosystem essential for the success of the startups. That is very important. And the objective is to strengthen the domestic capability of the manufacturing, the reliable and affordable medical electronics products, and providing services, thereby reducing the dependence on imports. You must be seeing that I'm going out and in because I'm at the same time looking after the patients who are admitted in the COVID hospital. So it is a pandemic, but at the same time, I would say it is a challenge for all of us. And I would like to say that when we will be setting up the COVID hospital, and the lots of the medical electronic equipment were required. And I would like to say to you that not even a single electronic equipment was made in India. That was my observation. And therefore, I am happy that we are doing something in this direction, that we will be able to manufacture some of these in India at a cheaper cost and with a much better quality also. I tell you that we need, for example, pulse oximeter, or even the infrared thermometers, and they are not available in India. And we have to wait for a long that they have to be imported to India before we can give to our patients all these facilities also. So I am not criticizing, I am just saying these are the stimulant points actually that we have to care for, that we should be able to manufacture or able to make all these equipments which are required the patients. And at the same time, we have to keep the quality very high up for these equipments also. For example, somebody has said about the personal protective equipments also. They are coming from different parts of the India, but they don't maintain a similar quality also. That's what I am saying. The quality is very, very important. And whatever we are starting from today onwards, it will also contribute to the vision of the flagship government programs such as the Make in India, Digital India, and the Startup India. You all know the Make in India was launched by the Government of India on 25th September 2014. And similarly, Startup India is an initiative of the Government of India, and it was launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his 15th August 2015 speech. So this is very, very important, and the Center of Excellence that is coming to the Sanjay Gandhi PGI, it will be built upon a space of the 15,000 square feet at the new library building at the 3rd floor. And what I have been told that it would be ready by the end of the 3 to 4 months. And this center will leverage the deep research capabilities of the PGI, Sanjay Gandhi PGI, in different areas of the medical specialties, along with the biostatics and the health informatics. And more importantly, that has been said already, that there will also be seamless access to the clinical trials of the medical innovations, validations, and so on and so forth. In this respect, I would say the STPI will play a crucial role in providing robust infrastructure that I am talking. Industry Connect as well as the funding. The field experts of the SGPI will act as a mentors for these startups and innovators. And I would say the SGPGI for all these aims is strategically placed. Already said that not only the SGPGI, we have the other institutions, the big institutions where they can contribute in these startups include the KGMU, and we have RML also here. You all know the cost here, and to start, basically we will go for these 50 startups over a period of the 5 years. And I have talked to the STPI personnel also that we will be inviting, I would say, the ideas from the SGPGI, and then we will be looking at the importance in the present scenario, and we can take up if they are really required. Nowadays, I have already told you that we are facing the coronavirus threat. Everybody has a fear what is going to happen, particularly the patients who are getting affected by this. But we take it otherwise, that it is a challenge for all of us also. I'll give you one example. It is dynamically changing as well as the management is concerned. At the beginning, in the March, the number of the patients were small. So all patients who were having these infections are being admitted into the hospital, and they are discharged once they become negative for this infection. But as of now, the daily more than 60,000 patients are getting infections, and there are lots of deaths, and the figure has already crossed 40,000 all over the India also. So we cannot admit all patients in the hospital. In that situation, we have the newer guidelines. If the patient remains asymptomatic for 3 to 4 days, then these patients can be discharged at the end of the 10 days. But the question starts from here. What will you do after 10 days? How would you monitor these patients once they are in the home isolation or home quarantine? I think here is, again, is important thing is that we should have an equipment which is with the patient, at least should be monitoring the oxygen saturation, blood pressure, and the pulse rate and the respiratory rate, and all these 4 components being transmitted to the central command where the doctors can observe whether it is right or wrong, because these patients may deteriorate once they are discharged, but require at the right time that they should come back to the hospital for the proper treatment once again. So I would say this is the opportunity actually, that we would like to have this kind of a system, and you don't have time much actually. Such kind of the center of the excellence in future, I would say that would be very beneficial for such kind of the outbreaks also. So I think it is the right step at the right time to start the center of excellence here. Similarly, that is the one example I said, that the home care of these patients once discharged. Another is the development of the vaccine. The vaccine is something that even the Center of Excellence has to do a lot. For example, computational and the data modeling challenges as a biological one also, that is the important one. I will not go into the history because that has already been said. I would like to say that I have just come to know that there are more than 4,000 healthcare technology startups in India. I come to know for the first time. And there are the innovations also. For example, pocket size ultrasound device that costs 50 times less than the machines in the hospital. That is something you require at the peripheral centers, community health center, primary health center, or even the small hospitals. These kind of the innovation that are specific to the Indian need or Indian people, they are required to be developed very much. When I was a student, actually, may I tell you, they used to introduce me that I was a student of this institute also, about 27, 28 years ago. So there is a procedure, the cholangioscopy. Cholangioscopy is basically the endoscopy of the biliary system. In that time, we used to do percutaneous, means going through the chest into the liver and looking at the biliary system. And there was a real curiosity that can we do through the endoscope, that is going through the stomach and placing it to the duodenum and looking at the CBD. Exactly after few years, the mother baby scope has come. Means the channel of the mother scope, you can push a baby scope and go into the CBD, which is hardly 3 to 4 millimeter. And lots of the advancement has gone. So these are the innovations. They are usually come in the minds of the physicians, surgeons who are working in the true hospital settings. And these are the people, they will come out with the ideas, and these kind of the centers, I would say, would be very helpful, just making these kind of the innovations also. I think initially has already been said that India is hub as far as the medical tourism is concerned also, and it is growing at the compound annual growth rate of the 17% or so. But what is required is basically we should be able to make the devices that we require. The major impediment is that even if we are making a device, anything, for example, you are making a monitor or even a ventilator or anything, you are importing 75% of the parts of this equipment from outside, and specifically from the China or other Asian countries. I think we need to dwell upon the manufacturing of these parts so that the investment, I would say the part that we are importing from the other countries uh, should decrease also. I think we have to take the innovative steps also. As our Prime Minister said also, it is not of the Startup India also, but it is also Make in India also. I think it should have both the components also. As far as this Center of Excellence is concerned, I would stop now. There are so many things to talk about, but already been said, and I assure you the full cooperation, 100% cooperation from my side as far as the functioning of the Center of the Excellence is concerned, in whatever the area it is. Thank you so much.
Thanks again for insurances. Sorry, I would just Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, for the assurances, and also, I think being the guiding light in terms of the problem statements, in terms of what is the immediate need. I believe the patient care use cases which you talked about, the development of the computational model. I think all this is something which there is this center of excellence and the startups working in the center of excellence would really cater to, and that's what we look forward with the guidance of SGPGI. So now, let me now invite at this juncture, let me now invite Sri Rishendra Kumar, Special Secretary, IT Electronics Department, Government of UP. Sri Kumar is an Indian Administrative Services Officer, Uttar Pradesh cadre of 2011 batch, and currently posted as Special Secretary, IT and Electronics Department, Government of Uttar Pradesh. And he also holds the position of Managing Director, Uttar Pradesh Electronic Corporation. He has been actively involved in development of IT parks, formulation of IT policies, and IT startup promotion, and various policies around that in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So thank you, Rishenji, for coming on this platform. And now I invite you for your address. Thank you. Kindly unmute yourself so that.
Thank you so much. Let me first of all congratulate the SGPGI, our premier institution of the state, and STPI for this day of soft launching. And I welcome every dignitary who is contributing their bits in this COE. As earlier discussed, Alok sir, who is the Additional Chief Secretary of our Department of IT and Electronics in UP, has planned to join this
Sorry, I think we lost the connection. We will try to reconnect very quickly.
For that meeting, and presently I am working in district Varanasi as a COVID nodal officer, and I am joining from the circuit house of Varanasi for this occasion. So let me tell you, I was with this project for some time. I am in this department. I am from last 1.5 years, so I have seen the progress of this project, and I'm also very happy that this is fructifying in this way of soft launching, and our ACS has already in this trend that after 3 months, when we will ready for the inauguration of this project, then we will do it by a big ceremony with Honorable CM Saab of the state will be there for doing the inauguration. We have already discussed the matter with our boss and the office of Honorable CM Sahab. The need of the hour is discussed. The need of new techniques and new devices in the sector of the health is very well put up by Director SGPGI Dhiman Sahab. The new trend is set up by I think iMed and AM Health. They have put up their experience. We are not authoritative on these type of part, but let me tell you, as Mr. Rajiv has said in earlier, that UP government is pursuing the medical electronics in a big way, and you will hear from the government of UP very soon. We are planning a big policy on this topic. Is going to announce very soon on medical electronics sector, and we are putting many facilities for these new investors and new startups and incubators. As far as this CO is concerned, is covered by our startup policy, and we are also setting up many software technology parks with the help of course, STPI in different cities and remote areas of UP, and they have a great response here. we have visited many parks with our ACS, and we have seen the work of STPI, and they are working so hard for our new startups and their ideas. So I let me also congratulate ma'am is here from MIT, and Dr. Rai is here, Omkar Rai Saab. They are working very well for the new ideas of remote areas of UP. Luckily, before coming to Varanasi 3 days earlier with my additional chief secretary, I have discussed the big plan of for the STPI in district of Bareilly, district of Jhansi, and district of Agra. So our government or our additional chief secretary very responsive to the demands by STPI, and he is very progressive in this field of medical technology. So on this occasion, I will put up into my words here, but government of UP is looking forward. After the 3 months, we will do a big inauguration of this project, and whatever are the shares of the state, whatever you need for this center of excellence, be it any resource, be it presence, or be it motivation, we are always here for you. These are the words of our additional chief secretary, who is representing our government, and our honorable CM Saab is very keen for this sector. You all very well know, in this time of COVID, he takes daily meeting of his team 11, which is totally based on the medical sector. So he is very interested in the development of this field. So I hope that every support from the government of UP will be available to every concerned startup or every entrepreneurs who is coming to UP. So I congratulate all of you, including me again, and thank you so much for adding me for this conversation. I'm not the expert of this field, and I think I'm most junior in this conversation. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rishenji. I think coming and joining this platform from Varanasi in the middle of the COVID various handling of the COVID situations, like Dr. Dhiman, thanks for your time and presence on this platform. With this, let me now request. Let me now invite Dr. Omkar Rai, Director General of Software Technology Parks of India. Dr. Rai is DG of STPI, which is the premier government organization working for the promotion of the ITS ESDM industry. Dr. Rai has contributed immensely in the repositioning of STPI with focus on innovation and dispersal of the ITS and ESDM industry beyond metros. Under his guidance, the Center of Excellence initiative has been, is moving forward. He's been very instrumental in, bringing the collaborative framework, which is the hallmark of each of the COEs. Whether it is the state government, whether it is the industry association, whether it is academic institutions, I think we have always been tapping and taking guidance from him to create that center of excellence. I'm sure under his guidance, the pan-India vibrant tech startup ecosystem will be reality soon under SGPI. And with that vision, I again thanks Dr. Rai for on this platform and welcome him for his address. Over to you, Dr. Rai.
Thank you, Subodh, for this opportunity. The chief guest of this soft launch of Medtech COE, Srimati Jyoti Arora, Special Secretary and Financial Advisor, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Professor R.K. Dhiman, Director SGPGI, Lucknow. Special Secretary IT and Electronics, Government of UP, Sri Vishrendra Kumar. My colleague, Director STPI, Noida, Sri Rajnish Agrawal. Director STPI, Headquarters, Sri Subodh Sacham. Dr. Jiten Sharma, CEO, AMTZ and Co-Chief Mentor of this Center of Excellence. Industry Leader and Forum Coordinator for AIME Day, Sri Rajiv Nath. My colleagues from STPI, from all other centers, startups, participants. It's my proud privilege to be here. I'm very glad today that this Center of Excellence, for which we have been working for last 2 years, is being launched. In fact, it's not a unilateral launch. It's not a unilateral establishment of a Center of Excellence. In fact, a lot of work has gone into collaborating and bringing the stakeholder on a platform. And anybody could witness from this place that the stakeholders are not only government of UP, SGPGI Lucknow, or STPI for that matter, or Ministry of Electronics and IT, but industry at large has been brought on the same place, same table, in form of the AI MED, and the industry leader, one of the pioneer in the field of medical equipment technologies, Dr. Jitendra Sharma himself is part of the entire initiative that we have taken together. This stitching of this collaboration takes some time, but once all the parameters and nuances are settled, we speed up our implementation. And therefore today we are soft launching this Center of Excellence, which would make a lot of difference on the ground and meet the kind of expectation that India at large has in terms of making India self-reliant, indigenization of medical equipment production, minimizing the import in this sector, and providing a platform to the budding entrepreneurs, young boys and girls, entrepreneurs, so that they could leverage from the ecosystem, from the Center of Excellence, the pool of mentors, could come up with ideas and work with the academia, industry leader, mentors, solve the problem that India faces today, and convert the solution of the problem in terms of creation of job and wealth. Actually, this is the kind of service that is required to be done by the young boys and girls toward this nation, because we all know, it's very obvious, we are very much aware that we are facing a lot of problem in terms of supply of indigenous equipments, indigenous testing kits, medical diagnostic equipment, medical electronics equipment in this country. Professor R.K. Dhiman has described in great detail. Rajiv Nath made a great presentation, a very informed presentation, and that goes to show that all the stakeholders know what has to be done in times to come. And that is why when we are all aligned, I am very sure that the Center of Excellence that we are soft launching today will be able to deliver its mandate, its objective for which it is being established. I must congratulate and express my gratitude to Government of UP for being so generous, so proactive, and supporting us in not only in terms of the grant that they have sanctioned, but also in terms of stitching the things together. I know that it was Government of UP which facilitated the approval of handover of this incubation space from SGPGI Lucknow. And apart from this, I also know that the entire board of SGPGI is manned by the Government of UP officials, and therefore their role in terms of giving approval, giving this grant, and being a partner is so commendable. I must express my gratitude towards Government of UP. I must say that we are actually working with Government of UP for a very long time. We are there since 1992. We have 4 centers right now: Meerut, Lucknow, Kanpur, Prayagraj, Noida. The export from STPI registered unit from UP has grown to more than 23,000 crore. The Lucknow center itself has the export grown to 200 crore. And apart from these numbers, I must say that UP has a large pool of experts who are actually doing raw R&D, developing products as a service to their customer all across the world. And rightly because of this, the Government of UP was so wise to establish a so-called manufacturing hub close to Noida, about which Sri Risirendra Kumar had just described, just mentioned. Even it was also mentioned by Rajiv Nath ji. I must say that this SGPI Center of Excellence that we are launching together would actually fulfill the need of research and development in terms of innovating, in terms of bringing new technology. Apart from developing technology, solving the problem, using SGPGI for academic input, for testing bed, using the talent and professors of SGPGI who will mentor and guide through the entire development of the technical medical electronics products and all. But this center of excellence is actually going to be more futuristic. It is going to innovate and come up with all those ideas and products which are going to be used in times to come. And therefore, we have to be very envisioning, we have to be very innovative. And that is how we will be able to create a lead, much needed lead in terms of making India Atmanirbhar and self-reliant. With government of UP, as I was describing, that we have a very fantastic collaboration. We are also bringing 4 new centers, as I said, Meerut, Agra, Gorakhpur, and as Sri Surendra Kumar has just said that they have a plan to have more centers in almost all remotest part of UP. I must assure that we will work together to make sure that the aspirations of the regional people, the people who are not being reached out as yet, will be met by our effort together. We have also implemented our much talked BPO scheme, a very a very dear scheme of our Honorable Minister Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, which is aimed at dispersing IT industry, BPO industry to smaller towns. And this BPO scheme has already been launched in UP and has witnessed some success. I must say that there are 14 companies which are operating in UP at 9 locations, and those locations also include Devariya, Bareilly, Ajodhya, Lakhimpur, Unnao, apart from Lucknow, Kanpur and Varanasi. And that goes to show that we are working together and trying to achieve whatever objective we have in mind very, very successfully. We know that the Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, has launched a next generation incubation program for 12 locations of this country. These 12 locations are essentially tier 2 and tier 3 locations. I am very glad to inform, as Special Secretary and FA of Ministry herself is here. I know that she was instrumental in approval of this very ambitious and aspiring scheme, which is aimed at promoting the young boys and girls of the smaller town of this country, so that they can also access funding, mentors, infrastructure support, and could work for innovating product, coming up with new ideas and product, and could leverage and access all those support system which is available in tier 1 cities. And this scheme actually covers 2 locations of UP, one Lucknow, another is Prayagraj. And this is something which is very great. I must say that these screened in applicants and startups of this center of excellence will be able to access the funding, mentoring and other support that are available in NGIS scheme. And I must say that the stakeholders and the people who are operating this center of excellence will be able to motivate the young boys and girls also to apply in our next generation incubation Chunauti program, which is already launched just yesterday. I would say that STPI, which was created to promote the IT industry and software export from this country, actually repositioned itself during last few years to meet today's requirement. What India is aspiring today, that riding on the successes it made in IT services industry, is trying to become a software product nation. And for that matter, STPI, along with the stakeholders, we actually essentially work with the partners. We don't do anything unilaterally because of funding and money that we have. We work with the partners, stakeholders, academia, industry leaders, governments at large. And that is how we have planned to create more than 21 centers of excellence with estimated budget of 400 crore. And most of the funding comes from Ministry of Electronics, government, state governments, and also from the industry, apart from the mentoring and other support that industry extends to us. This entire effort that is being made is to make sure that India becomes self-reliant, Atmanirbhar in terms of innovating and bringing new technology in times to come, making things better for our nation, and minimize the import, maximize the export, and thereby creating a lot of job, retaining the wealth inside this nation. These are the initiative these are the mandate of STPI that we are trying to do now, right? I think the objectives of medical technology COE has already been discussed. We know that We have partners like AIMAD, AMJ, Government of UP, SGPGI. It is a 22 crores budgeted Center of Excellence for 5 years, going to host 50 startups. And I'm very sure that the collaboration and the support that has been not only extended by SGPGI Lucknow, and what has been assured by the Professor R.K. Dhiman today, it is most important assurance that we have, because if they would support us and if they would handhold the young boys and girls and screened into startup and would expose them to the real world problem that medical fraternity and medical industry, medical education faces today, I am very sure that they would solve the problem and create a lot of products around us. I would just say that there are things that are happening around. These Center of Excellence, which we are launching today, are part of a larger design. The entire Center of Excellence that we are creating are so networked to each other that the Center of Excellence where the screen and a startup will be able to access all those facilities, labs, mentor pool that we are developing all across the country. In turn, each and every Center of Excellence that STPI is launching in collaborative manner will also be linked to the Ministry of Electronics and IT Startup Hub, which is a great platform. Actually, this is the platform which is going to network all the incubators, all the startups, all the mentors, all the labs together, and going to bring best practices from all across the world, going to manage funding, going to understand the policy intervention requirement by the startups and innovators and the incubator community, and going to make a lot of difference and could become a gateway to the entire government and the market. And therefore, I must assure that this Center of Excellence is not alone. It's not isolated. It is a part of large design that India has today, for which STPI is pioneering and leading the entire effort. I am very glad to say that the kind of effort my colleagues and other stakeholders are making together, in times to come, STPI is going to play a major role in transforming India in a product nation, software product nation. And I must once again express my personal gratitude towards all the stakeholders, partners, Government of UP, Ministry of Electronics and IT, SGPGI Lucknow, AMD, AIMED, and all others in joining hands and making the entire journey very, very mesmerizing, very, very great. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for all the inspiration, for the vision. And I think the interlinking of Center of Excellences, and especially linking with the mighty startup hub, where all the initiatives are going to culminate in terms of startup ecosystem, is something which we as a team will look forward to deliver on. Now, let me invite Srimati Ms. Jyoti Arora ji, Special Secretary and Financial Advisor. But before her, I would like to invite her also all dignitaries, Dr. Omkar Rai, Dr. R.K. Dhiman, Sri Rishend Kumar ji, Dr. Jiten Sharma, along with all the distinguished guests on the screen as well as attendees, to formally do the soft launch of the Center of Excellence. So just give me a second.
Soft launch has to be done by me.
Yeah. So yes. Just. Sorry. So I request ma'am now to do a click, virtual click, and we will do the soft launch. Ma'am, with your permission. Click. With the soft launch, we launched doing a soft launch today. Along with the soft launch, we are also opening up the Medtech and STPI website. Along with this, we are going to now, since beginning today, launch an Open Challenge program. The Open Challenge program can be seen. The dates of the Open Challenge program is 14th August. We launched this, and last date of application submission is 18th September. And following that month, within 2 weeks or 3 weeks time, we'll see all the applications, and these applications will be followed by announcement results. And that's when our facility will be ready. And this, we look forward to inviting all startups, all applications across the Lucknow and state of Uttar Pradesh to participate in that. With that, let me also attempt to show a small video for the. So thank you for staying with me until now. With this, without further wait, I would now invite Ms. Jyoti Arora for her keynote address. Ms. Jyoti Arora is Special Secretary Ministry of Economics and IT, Government of India. Ms. Arora is 1987 batch Indian Administrative, and prior to joining Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, she has served as Additional Chief Secretary in Government of Haryana in departments like Agriculture and Cooperation, Higher and Technical Education, and also as Joint Secretary in Ministry of Power of Government of India. A senior bureaucrat, Ms. Arora has worked in power and energy sector immensely and is recognized as an eminent energy professional who has contributed towards several other policy initiatives for the same. A thorough professional and with a clear emphasis on outcome-driven approach, she has been guiding force in several of centers of excellence initiatives, both in MIT, including the one which we are going to launch today, which we have just soft launched today, which is Medtech Center of Excellence. With that note, I request ma'am for your keynote address as a chief guest.
Thank you, Subodh. I am actually very happy to be part of today's function. I remember 3 months ago, in May probably, we had this conversation where we were still kind of finalizing the nuts and bolts of this Center of Excellence. But I'm very happy that in 3 months' time we are again here meeting on the soft launch of this center. My colleague, Mr. Ronkar Rai, Chairman STPI, Special Secretary UP Government, Dr. Dhiman, Dr. Jitendra Sharma, Mr. Rajiv Nath. I think today's journey has culminated after 2.5 years of planning. This whole thing started, I think, in January 2018, and Mr. Rai was saying that it has taken a lot of planning. The Japanese people are the best planners in the world. They take a lot of time, but when it comes to execution, then they do deliver very fast. I think, and I hope that we have taken so much time for planning, but delivery would be as fast as what Japanese do. So let's keep that as a benchmark. So I hope that this planning will actually culminate in faster execution. One thing I want to say in the beginning, Mr. Rai, Jitendra Sharma is not very happy with our aspiration, our ambition. The 50 startups which we are kind of projecting in 5 years' time. That is why he's talking about some innovation, Lucknow, Vizag innovation corridor, that all the people on the way can be connected, because I think 50 is a very small number. So we must have ambition at a higher level. We can start with small, but let us make thousands flowers bloom, as they say. STPI, I think I was speaking on your foundation day. It was foundation day, and at that point in time, when I was looking at the history of STPI, it has had a very tremendous journey. In 1992, I think it started with 53 crore of exports, and now in this year you are clocking almost 4,50,000 worth of crores of exports. So it has been an incredible journey. And in the software services, STPI's name everybody knows in the country, and I was very touched that on that day of your foundation day, when Mr. Narayan Murthy was also speaking through a video, of course, that in their journey of Infosys, STPI actually helped a lot. And in fact, he was saying that if STPI had taken a small equity at that point in time, STPI would have been sitting on a wealth of billions of dollars. But I think the motto of STPI is to provide these services to the budding entrepreneurs, and therefore, once having established this software industry on its own legs, I think they have taken another step towards making now India an entrepreneurial India, and therefore they have jumped into this startup, supporting the startup ecosystem. And I'm very happy to see that in the last few years only, 2-3 years only, we've been able to set up more than 20 center of excellence, ranging from agriculture to AR, VR to blockchain to now health and medical electronics and health informatics. I think Mr. Rajiv Nath brought in a great detail the kind of anticipation we have regarding and the way the industry is going to go forward as far as the medical electronics is concerned. In the year 2019, global electronics market, medical electronics market was $73 billion, and it is expected in 5 years' time, that is in 2025, it is going to more than double. Similarly, the medical device market, Indian medical device market, which is around 8 billion as of now, is going to triple in the next 5 years. So therefore, there is a lot of room for innovation here. With the mighty focus on Make in India and digital health mission, I think, and also our Prime Minister's vision of making Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think not much needs to be said why we should do it and what are the opportunities. Having said that, I just would like to, everybody knows what is a center of excellence, but still I would like to reiterate what is the MITI's expectation from a center of excellence. Here, though we are, I think center of excellence actually is basically the thought process behind this has been to create an institution which can create an ecosystem for budding entrepreneurs to come, for their ideation, for their mentoring, for their financial support, and most of all, taking them through the regulatory sandbox, because health is such sector where there are a lot of regulatory compliances also. So take them through that, provide them the test labs, And most important than that is providing them a market. Therefore, keeping this vision in mind, the framework has been to make collaborative partners. Here, in this case, for example, in every center of excellence, we are doing one. The academic institution, one we are taking the state government on board, another we are taking the industry also, so that the mentorship is available, the demand is available, and the problem statements also come from the government, so that an entrepreneur, if he comes up with an idea, if he comes up with a prototype, there is actual demand for testing of that product. And an academic institution, here for example, the PGI will be providing them not only the lab facility, they have been very gracious to provide them the facility, the housing facilities also, but they will be providing the space for the test lab, as well as the actual mentoring, and also actually providing the live testing facilities also. So, and from the state government, our expectation is that with the problem statements which they have given, at least they will be providing some market for the successful startup entrepreneurs, so that whatever solution they come up with, they are able to test that and they can provide that service to the state government. Since most of you have spoken about the need for the medical electronics and how Indian entrepreneurs can contribute in that because of growing market, I would like to spend a little more time on health informatics, because this Center of Excellence has two parts. One is the medical electronics and other is the health informatics. MeitY has been giving a push to the digital healthcare, and it is universally agreed that digitizing health record is not only a good thing, but it is desperately required, because it increases accountability, improves patient outcomes, and advances evidence-based policy making. I was going through an article today in Indian Express. I would recommend everybody to go through that. It is an article by Sachit Balsari, a digital push for healthcare. I think he is raising very important issues. In US, they have digitized all this health record, but this studies have shown that the maximum burnout rate for the doctors is coming also from digitization of these health records, because there is so much information to be put into that if you have to actually account for one small intervention, the time taken for filling up of the record is equal to the time actually the doctor puts in for intervention. So therefore, there is a need for these standardized protocols, and therefore, keeping this in view, in 2017, Niti Aayog had set up a committee where they had invited the academicians, the IT professionals, and philanthropists, NGOs, and doctors, academicians, so that to devise these protocols for the health record system. So they had come up with a National Health Stack Blue Book, and Health Ministry has also come up with a National Digital Health Blueprint. Now, it is not a very pleasant thing that every patient goes with those records in their polythene bags, and if we can digitize all these records in a standard format, I think it will, and then the doctors are able to access that data online. I think it is going to improve a lot of outcomes. So I think there is a lot of need for innovation there, but a very important thing is that while we are doing it, while we are encouraging our startup entrepreneurs to actually provide this kind of interventions, digital interventions on health informatics, we have to see that the privacy features which we have kept for personal data in our draft data protection bill. So, laying this foundation through this start. So this is the vision of the METI, that nobody has done a lot of work on health informatics. So if we can come up with the tools which can provide standard information on digital platforms, where a patient or a normal Indian can not only access his data or his test from a lab, but can put in an application where he can look at what kind of from my health data record, and through the intervention of many applications, what is it that can be diagnosed, and then that alert goes to the doctor with all the privacy features. So if we can do that, if we can build that trust in those innovations, that would be something which I think will be a contribution of India. So I think so this center of excellence which we are providing would be able to, I think, provide all this kind of an ecosystem where we are not only encouraging people to come for providing the health electronics, but also on informatics as well, and the kind of support which I am seeing from the state government and from the which is, I think, in my last conversation with them also, they are very, very enthusiastic about setting up this center. And I think the outcomes, we should not look at the outcomes in a year's time, and as Mr. Jitendra Sharma has said, we should start looking at the outcomes in the 6 months' time, because it's a very, very changing field. And the kind of partnership which STPI has been able to build and also the support system which it has been able to build for this center of excellence, I think the vision which we have envisaged for this center is likely to bring fruition at a very in a very small span of time. And I think this with the mentorship which will be provided by Dr. Saurabh Srinivas. I think he could not join today because of some personal health issues, but he is a known stalwart in the industry and in this area. And if we can have his mentorship and mentorship from the industry and as well as from the academia, I think our goal of providing advanced medicine to every Indian and health for all will be achieved. Thank you, Dr. Rai, for making this possible in a 3 months' time. I would personally be looking into the progress of this center. The health issues are actually very critical and generally for the country also, but it's very close to my heart also. So let us increase our ambition, not only of only 50 startup, but a large number, and let us try to do it in a faster manner. With that note, I think I would like to thank everyone to be able to, and the whole team of STPI, to bring this together in a short period of time after I had discussed with you. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot, and I think we will definitely, look forward to scaling up our objectives in terms of number of startups, and I think we look forward to your continuous guidance as always. With that note, I think we are close to our the first session, which is the inaugural session. Let me now, again. Thanks Ms. Jyoti Arora, Special Secretary, Financial Advisor, Mighty Government of India, Dr. Omkar Rai, DG STPI, Shri Rishrent Kumarji, Dr. Dhiman, Rajiv Naji, Dr. Jitendra Sharma, right? Clearly, the pandemic has unraveled the myriad issues and opportunities in boosting healthcare and life sciences in India and the world. It's typically often been said the health is wealth, and as ma'am said, the health issues, especially health for all, is the vision forward we look forward to. With that note, on behalf of STPI and as a personal capacity of Director Startup Innovation Promotion, it is great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks for distinguished speakers for gracing this occasion, sharing experiences and opinions today. Thank you, ma'am, once again. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you very much for your address, and also especially re-emphasizing the health informatics as a focus area, which is also listed out as a problem statements in the first open challenge. We're also thankful to Rishen Kumarji for his address, and also giving assurance to his support from Government of UP. Dr. Rai, as always, for his vision and I think taking forward the self-reliant Atmanirbhar Bharat towards with respect to software product nation creation. Dr. Dhiman, thanks for your time from a very busy schedule. We are very grateful for your participation, as well as your support extended from SGPGI and all the community of SGPGI. Dr. Sharma, as always, thank you for being present today and guiding us and guiding this Center of Excellence. And Rajiv Rajji, thanks for your support from IMED perspective. Last but not the least, Dr. Saurabh Srivastava, who could not be present, as ma'am said. We are again thankful to his guidance, for his continued support. For the Chief Mentor, he very much wanted to be on this platform, but because of his illness, he could not be part of today's program. Again, I would like to thank all of our members of the project management group, governing council, MIT's innovation IPR division, and all my colleagues of from the various centers of STPI, jurisdictional directors, for joining us for this event today. With that note, again, thank you. But for the audience, we would like you to wait. There is a next session coming up. This session is on the technology session, a tech talk session, where we have Dr. Shiv Kumar from Medtech Solution, Dr. Soumya Shukla, Founder, Director, Vectrogen, Shri Parmendra Kakaria, General Manager, Wipro, Rahul Pandita, Dr. B.K. Sahu, Dr. Vivek Anand Saraswat from SGPGI. This session will be focused on harnessing technology to change the face of medtech and healthcare in India. So with that note, again, thanks everyone. Thank you. I request host to take us backstage.